Jeff from Chillin N Grillin with Jeff here. I have seen some spectacular backyards over the last couple years, and the one we're going to visit today, I'm told, has some pretty unique features. I'm told to expect to be a little bit surprised when we're back there. Let's go visit my good friends Cindy and Fred and see what they have for us. Cindy, Fred, I know you're back here somewhere. It's a pretty small backyard. You can't be hiding too far. Hello?
Jeff, we're up here.
Up this trail? I guess the backyard gets a little bit bigger than we expected. I'm guessing this is the surprise portion of the yard. I had no idea what to expect, but apparently your yard's a little bit bigger than what I saw when I first walked in the back.
It's a bit of an adventure trying to find us. Nice to see you. Yeah, pleasure.
Good to see you. Yeah. Wow. You weren't kidding when you said the backyard was going to be different. I'm wandering around down there looking for you.
Yeah. Well, this is where we like to hang out and get away from the world.
There's got to be a whole lot of story behind this backyard. It's incredible.
Normally we would go on vacation with the kids, rent a cottage or go to France or something like that, because that's, you know, I work with a lot of people there. And but because of COVID, we didn't travel anywhere, and we decided to spend more time in our garden, which looks very daunting, and it was.
You mean you're trapped in this amazing backyard for a year?
Well, yeah.
We try to find a sort of a very natural look and a natural feel to things. So
the first thing I noticed when you come back here, and we'll go for a tour in a minute, but this is in the middle, like we're right in the middle of London. There's traffic and cars, and
we're downtown.
You forget it all. You walk in the backyard and it's like you're at a cottage.
You know, we don't really hear anything from the street. We are on a very busy street. We don't hear much of anything, and at night it's like pitch black.
I see what might be beehives over there
somewhere. This is our second year. We put the beehives in last year during COVID.
So what's involved with putting a beehive?
Well, it starts with having someone that knows what they're doing. So a good friend of mine has been doing it for a number of years. And over some conversations after hockey, I found out that he was looking to maybe add a few more. And we explained our property, because we were I'm more keen about just having bees around, because it just, from what you read and hear, that there's not enough. And so what can we do to help support that? Obviously the byproduct is honey, so we've become now, you know, lush with a lot of honey, and people
so you
get
harvest
that for
the honey and cook
Correct.
with it. And
yeah, I give a lot away.
now I know you're a real entertainer, so how do you kind of use your space, your backyard? You've got, when I came in the backyard, you got the beautiful deck. We've got some barbecues back there. We've got this. How do you entertain a lot?
Yes, we entertain. We are the.
Well,
that's
funny you should ask.
that's an understatement, because there's going to be a crowd coming for
To
dinner.
join us for dinner.
Yeah,
Great,
join us this
great. So
evening.
tell me about the menu. What are we going to cook tonight?
Some grilled Argentinian shrimp on the barbecue.
Okay, that'll be rough, but we can manage.
Yeah, with a red pepper sauce or cream sauce. And then we're going to have some paella, seafood paella.
Oh, nice. So let's go walk around the yard and take a look at what we have.
Yeah, here,
Perfect. How long have you been here now? Let's start with that.
10 years.
10 years.
10
and
years,
so
yeah.
was the backyard like this, or did you develop this? Or
The backyard was like this, but it was from the previous owner. Actually, this backyard was on the garden tour of London. And so it's been designated as a natural habitat. We've seen foxes here. We've seen rabbits' nests. We have deers,
turkeys,
foxes.
Really?
Yeah.
Wild turkeys and everything back
We
there.
had a
wild
wild
turkeys
turkey
in the back and stuff.
knocking on the on the
Which
kitchen
you're surprised,
door.
again, you're in the city, and some of that you're just not always expecting to see, but
Yeah.
For one reason or
I
another,
have probably driven by your house, you know, a million times.
But it
And
it's-
everyone says that. They're like, what is, I never have guessed this sort of things are in the backyard.
so I was almost going to trip on this swing.
Yeah.
This is up here for the kids, and do the kids enjoy the space? Are they up here quite a bit?
Yeah,
They
they like to play manhunt, flashlight tag.
Oh
and
yeah.
all that
Hide and
through
go
here.
seek. like
Nighttime
that's-
up here, running around with the
so
flashlights.
They've got a good lay of the land in the dark, and they're able to sort of navigate their way through it better than us most of the time now. So
The stone wall is the original property line.
Oh, okay.
So when you see actually on what it was the deed that we have of our house, this is the line.
Really?
Yeah,
Wow.
when you look at
It's kind of neat.
Yeah.
When you look in the City of London archives and you sort of see where the edge of town was, this was it at one point.
You know, there are boundaries, but you know, the old stone, call it a stone wall, a stone fence, it kind of adds to the allure.
The
for sure.
ambiance of it all, absolutely, yeah. As we're walking around, you start to know leaves are falling, and that's at this time of the year you realize a lot of the foliage is already dropped, and so it starts to open up and that. But now the sun's also lower, so you don't need quite as much shade. And yeah, it just depends what time of the year you're coming through here, right?
So listen, all this walking around here, uphill, downhill, we're talking about honey, we're talking about, you know, enjoying the land.
Sure.
Let's talk about food.
You're going to build up, hopefully you're building up a bit of a hunger as we get our exercise
I
in
am.
here, right?
Beautiful backyard. I mean, what can you say, right? You know you love it. It's
Oh.
incredible.
Yep, we enjoy it.
Worked up a little bit of an appetite walking around the yard as well. So
Yeah.
you're gonna do some shrimp, and you were talking about, is it a roasted red pepper sauce?
Yes, it's a roasted red pepper cream sauce.
Tell me what's in the sauce, and let's finish it up.
Well, it's not low cal, so there's.
Do I look like a low-cal person to you?
I don't either. But anyways, we have some roasted red peppers, whipping cream, and 6 cloves of garlic.
Wow.
And all we have to do
Nice.
is add smoked paprika.
All right, okay.
It could go on a baguette or
Oh.
as a dip.
Sounds awesome.
Yeah.
I'm intrigued with the whipping cream in here. And then what do we have to do? We want to put it in here and blend
Yeah,
it?
we're gonna put it in there and blend it.
All right, let's blend that up. The difference in the color on this, right? Since
Yeah.
the peppers are emulsified,
let it
big
try it?
difference. I am. If you don't tell anybody, I won't.
I won't.
Oh, wow. A little bit of garlic in there, eh?
Yeah.
That's nice. We'll dump that into some dipping bowls.
There we
So how many
are.
people do we have showing up tonight?
I think 10 in total.
Would that be a normal evening of entertaining in Cindy's backyard?
No, that would be light.
That would be light. So what's an average dinner table size for you?
Well, we always have a table of 10, but we can add tables to it.
All right, we got
Yeah.
our sauces all done.
Yep.
They're going to sit here. We're going to serve that up with the shrimp.
Right.
And you mentioned you're going to cut up this beautiful baguette and you're
Yes.
going to brush it with some oil. Tell me a little bit about the oil, because this doesn't look like your average olive oil.
3 tablespoons of olive oil with 3 garlic cloves, and you cook it until it gets brown. Simmer it. You remove the garlic, and then you cool it down and add 3 teaspoons of
Wow,
paprika.
I can't wait to try this. So
Yeah.
we're going to slice up the bread and
Yes.
we'll brush that on. Let me help
Yes.
you out with that.
We're gonna grill it, and we're gonna serve it.
And are
with,
you going to do the grilling, or are we going to rope in Fred?
Yeah, we're gonna rope in
You
Fred.
did all the prep work, so
That's
we got to throw
right.
him on the grill,
Yeah,
right?
you know, he has to earn his keep too. So,
Absolutely.
But we'll just put that, and we'll just do it a little tiny bit.
All right, our grill is heating up over there. I can see a little bit of smoke coming off.
Yep.
It's getting ready for Fred.
Good.
We got our bread ready, our sauce ready, and we started doing up the shrimp. And you've got a certain way of putting your shrimp on skewers. You're
Yes.
not just jamming it on there.
No, this is the way you're supposed to put them very tight together, because then you can cook it evenly, and it's more like a meat. So you're supposed to put it at the head of the shrimp and the tail.
So you're going to skewer these up over here. We're going to
Yep.
put some oil on them anyway, right? So
Yep.
if we have
Yep,
a little bit
we're
of oil
good.
on the cutting board,
We're good.
and we have 2 skewers,
Yes.
as you pointed out.
Yeah. What I found earlier was easiest is if you put all of them the same way
Right.
and just slowly put them on, because earlier I had tried to put them all up here, and then it was like feeding them, but no, it's just
So
easier.
there's a system here.
So what we do is we get the other skewer, and it just goes through all the tails, like right
And
down.
they're perfectly laid out, nice and
Yep.
flat, even, ready for cooking on the
Yep.
grill. Let's
All
get
right.
Fred.
Yeah.
And we'll tell him to put his chef
Look at
coat on, and we're
that.
going to back her cooking. Well, we found our grill master, Fred.
Yeah, sort of.
He thought he
All
was
right.
leaving town. When he heard we were cooking shrimp, he came back running. So you're the grill guy. I see your grill's fired up.
Yes, we're ready to go.
You're a barbecue, right? It looks the right temperature.
Looking good. It's
It
all
looks the
it's
right
all by
temperature,
sight
right?
and smell. Yeah.
I'm with you on that. So what are we going to do? We're going to throw that shrimp
Yeah,
on
we're going
there?
to throw the shrimp on for just a couple minutes each side. Don't want to overcook it or over grill it. And as I do that, then I'm going to apply some of the,
Marinade.
we have a marinade, and we also have,
And I just
a
want to
little
point
bit
out,
of bread.
in case you forget, we brought an executive chef to keep you on track.
I need
Yeah.
someone to sort of give me some good oversight here in that.
Now, there was a lot of science behind
Yeah.
doing the shrimp this way. So it was going to make everything easier. We got 2 skewers on the shrimp.
I'm always cautious, and sometimes the coals can really start, when you're working with a charcoal, can really get hot in a hurry. So I just want to be careful of that piece of it.
You got a lot of heat going on here. This bread's cooking up pretty fast. And the shrimp are off to the side, so they're safe.
They are getting there. I'm going to give them about a minute.
Are we going
I
to do
think.
anything with
They're
them
only
on the
2
grill? Or are we going
minutes.
to marinate them at all
Yeah,
while
A
they're
little bit,
cooking?
yep.
Yeah.
So just-
All right, so we're taking some of that olive oil with the garlic. I'm gonna marinate the shrimp on them. Get that cooking on there. So looks like we got a pile of guests building up at the table over there. They look like they're awfully hungry. We got our grill master taking care of the shrimp and the bread over here.
Yeah.
So what are we gonna do? Are we gonna plate this up?
Yes.
Okay.
So I am just waiting for the bread, so I can just put one per thing.
Okay, and now you're gonna put the sauce on the plate as well?
Yes.
I can tell you're used to feeding the whole group. You've got all the plates lined up. Now, do you typically plate or do you do family style when you're entertaining?
It depends.
We plate. I'm the plater. I think that's an important thing. This looks great with the plates.
Yeah.
All this garlic oil,
Yep.
garlic cream sauce. So you called it a red pepper cream sauce. So
Yeah, it's a
I'm
red
gonna go with more
pepper.
of a garlic cream
Okay.
sauce. Grill master, how's that shrimp doing over there?
I think we're done, ready to go.
Perfect timing. And you're gonna put the shrimp right inside. You're gonna take it off the skewers, though, right?
Yep.
And put it right on top of the cream
Correct.
sauce. Nice, nice. Okay. So these are gonna be hot, but we're gonna pull them off the skewers.
Yes.
All right.
Okay.
Beautiful plate presentation.
Cool.
And I think after we're done that parsley, now that Fred's gone off to the side,
Yeah.
I think we take a little bit of this sauce and here,
Yes,
join me. Let's check the quality.
Okay. Yeah,
before
we have
do-
to before we serve it. We need to.
Yeah,
Here, let me just put some on here.
it's the
Go
chef's
for it.
treat, right? We call it.
Yes.
What do you think, Chef? You happy with that?
Not bad.
I'll take it.
Okay.
All right.
Delicious.
Let's get our grill master back over here. We got some hungry folks sitting at the table, and let's serve them up. All right, I'll let Cindy tell you what she cooked up here, but I'm telling you, it's pretty good.
Argentinian shrimp with paprika, cream sauce, and roasted red pepper.
Okay, everybody's feasting on the shrimp. I hear lots of good comments coming from over there. Good job on the grill, Fred.
Thank you. You're welcome.
You're taking credit for all Cindy's hard work.
Practice makes perfect. I'm always willing to give
So
it a
this
go.
is the part of the night that I'm looking for, do paella.
Yes.
So you're very traditional. You made your own broth or
I
soup,
did.
as you're calling
Yes,
it,
yeah,
right? The traditional terms.
Do you want to know what's in it?
Absolutely.
Okay, so I spoke to my Spanish producer that I work with, and he says it's all about the broth.
Okay.
You have to get the broth right. It's been broth from shrimp, crab, lobster shells. There's
Oh,
vegetables.
man. Do you want me to cut chorizo while you're talking about
Yep, and there's vegetables like carrot, celery, onion, a little bit of fennel in there,
Fennel.
and there's garlic. So that is what's going to cook the rice.
Okay.
What I'm doing is seafood paella, but I'm going to add a little bit of chorizo sausage. The reason why I use the dried one is because when you put it in the pan, it will release oils from the dryness.
We can see a lot of that here right now, and the
Yeah,
heat's going to
and
pull
so
that
then
out. Yep.
then when you put the rice in, it will absorb into the rice and give
right.
it some more flavor. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to use the oil from the shrimp to
Great
add,
idea. This
yeah.
paprika and garlic oil. Sure, you may as well
Yeah.
take advantage of that for sure. We used some of your oil from before that
Yeah.
had the smoked paprika,
Yeah.
the garlic in there. Great use of that rather than tossing it out.
Right.
And again, we're looking for this chorizo to release some of that oil that's in there.
Exactly.
That's the benefit of the dried one.
Right. And what we do is once we take this off, we put the rice, or we'll do the vegetables.
So what do you think about our chorizo? Are we just about ready to
Yeah,
cross?
I think we're gonna drain it.
Yeah. Now you love to cook paella.
Well, paella is one of my favorite dishes,
How
but
come?
I mean, why? Because you can put whatever you want in it. But this is going back in the paella.
So what do you want to throw in there next?
We're gonna do a little bit of onions and first I'm gonna put the garlic in
Garlic, all right.
because we don't have enough garlic.
No, keep adding more
Yeah.
garlic. Oh, you may as well finish that off. You
okay.
hardly have any in there.
There we go.
There we go.
Onions, we're gonna get some in here. Then I'm gonna put the peppers in. I put the peas in last because there's nothing worse than overcooked peas.
Right.
And I remember that from when my grandparents used to.
Steam vegetables for hours on end.
Yes,
Boil them.
yes. So now what we're gonna do is we're gonna put some rice in there.
Rice is a discussion when it comes to paella,
Paella, yeah.
right? So you obviously use
Bomba rice, yeah.
traditional.
Yeah, traditional.
Mhm. You want me to start adding that?
Yep. I think you can put
Okay,
it all in.
1, 2, 3.
Yeah,
you want
that-
4,
I
5.
think- yeah, I think that's about what, 3 cups?
4 or 5.
4 or 5? Okay.
Sure. That's just enough cups.
Okay. So what we're going to do is we're going to mix this and get all the flavors.
And
in
what's
with
the
the
idea
rice.
of cooking the rice ahead of time with no broth?
Well, you're not cooking it fully. You're
Right.
just getting the
Warming
flavors.
it up so it starts to absorb the flavors
Yes,
and the oils.
and then we put the soup in, and then it cooks in that. Instead of putting the seafood in to cook with the broth, sometimes the seafood could get overcooked, and then it's dry.
Okay.
So we've actually steamed the clams and the mussels, so they will go in last.
And it's
and
just a question of heating them up and getting some of the flavor,
Exactly,
but we're not cooking them in the paella.
Correct. Like some people put it in and it cooks, but then sometimes it's too dry.
Right. And a little more rice here, okay.
Yeah.
So you let me know when you've got enough here.
Okay.
We'll add 1, 2,
Okay, that's good.
2.5 cups. That's
Yeah,
2.14 cups.
Okay. So what we're gonna do is we're gonna just we're gonna put the broth in,
Okay.
and we're gonna let it simmer.
Add one of these, the whole thing.
Yeah, I think you're gonna have to
Just
add
dump it
all.
right in.
You're gonna have to add them all.
So we started with olive oil,
Yes.
and we used some oil that already had the
Paprika.
garlic and paprika, and
Yep.
then we threw in the onions,
Yes.
garlic,
Yep.
red peppers, yellow peppers, the chorizo sausage,
Yes.
and now what you're calling soup, which
Right.
is
It's
sort
a
of
broth.
a seafood
It's a
broth, right?
Yeah, it's a broth.
And so remind me what's in the broth here.
Shrimp shells, crab shells, whitefish. There's onion, garlic, vegetables like celery and carrots, a tiny bit of fennel, and that's it.
The aromas are coming out
Yeah.
like crazy. You can smell the oils,
Yep.
the seafood, the chorizo for sure, paprika.
Yep. And so when this is done, it will be piled like this with seafood.
Nice. We have the temperature set right, and
Yes.
we're not going to stir at this point now, right?
No.
Very little stirring because that'll turn it into risotto. We just want to let it simmer and absorb.
The traditional way is that, unfortunately, this isn't a cast iron pan, but it usually stays still, so it gets a crusty bottom, and
Right.
that's something that
That's the treat.
That's the treat. So
Yes.
just like a cheese fondue, you want the burnt stuff on the
There you
bottom,
go.
right?
Awesome. All right. Well, let's
Yeah.
let that simmer and let's let it get
Okay.
happy, and we'll keep an eye on it.
Okay. Awesome.
The paella is looking fantastic. It's been a while. It's getting a little bit darker out.
Yeah.
You happy with the way it looks?
Yep.
gonna add
No,
some-
no. I think it needs to
More
have some
time?
seafood in there.
Oh, what about the
That'll
chorizo?
make it look better. Yes.
Let's mix in some chorizo. Get some of that paprika
Okay.
dripping in there.
Yep.
What do you want to add next?
Clams.
Clams. And again, a lot of these you cooked up ahead of time to,
Yeah.
you know,
Yeah.
'cause we don't want them to overcook at this point.
No,
the
we
paella is
don't.
essentially ready. We just
Yeah, that's the thing
Finishing
is
it off.
because if you think about the seafood in there for half an hour cooking,
Yeah.
it's going to be dried
way
out.
overcooked. Way
Yeah.
overcooked.
We steamed the clams.
So we've got, now this isn't cooked, but this is squid that you've got kind of chopped
Yeah.
up. All right, so we're gonna throw that in here. And you've got the chicken thighs
Yeah,
that you
chicken
seared earlier.
thighs,
You want
yeah.
to get those in next?
You bet. Might have to leave a couple on the side for the dogs. We'll just mix the peas in.
And you know what? You need the peas in the paella.
Oh,
they bring
yeah.
in that freshness. Like,
And the crunch, like a little
Yeah.
bit of, not crunch, but like a texture.
all right,
All right,
that
wow.
looks good. Why don't we? Is that what you're doing with these?
Yeah.
All right.
What about the mussels? We got to put the mussels in too.
Okay. And now
And shrimp.
the shrimp,
You're a great sous chef, Jeff. Mussels.
mussels. That's a seafood paella.
Awesome.
Well, you win the award for the most seafood
Well,
in seafood paella.
you know, when you see food, you buy it.
Cindy, this is bubbling away. It looks fantastic. I mean, this
Yeah.
is the most impressive paella I've seen. I'm not gonna lie. We got it.
I hope so.
They don't know what's in it, but there's lobster, there's shrimp, there's everything. Let's give it a taste test and see if we're
Alright,
ready to.
let's
See,
see.
maybe we don't even want to share it with people.
No, well, I don't know how far we'd get.
Yeah.
Mm,
Wow,
that's good.
that is good. I think it's ready. I just want to say thanks. What an amazing yard. It's beautiful. I can't believe it's sitting right here in London,
Downtown London.
downtown London. House, cottage, all on one piece of property.
Yeah.
What a tour. It's fantastic.
Yeah.
And the food, you know, is it better? I'm not sure it's better than your yard, but it certainly
Yeah.
complements the yard.
Oh, thank
Incredible
you.
chefs, both of you. Thanks very much for a fantastic
Thanks-
afternoon and
thanks
inviting us
for-
here.
Thanks for having
Cheers.
us.
Appreciate it.
Thank you,
Our
sir.
pleasure.
All right. We got a hungry crowd. let's sip up and let's get that paella over there.
Okay.
Sounds
perfect.
good.
All right, thanks again, gang. Cheers. Everybody hungry? Yeah. Right, watch this paella. Look at this. I've seen a lot of paella. This is incredible. Welcome to this week's barbecue tip on Chillin N Grillin with Jeff. This week we're going to learn everything you need to know about how to use wood for smoking on your smoker, your charcoal grill, even your gas grill. And to kind of walk us through this process, we've brought Katie in from Ontario Smoking Wood, located just in Shedden. Thanks for coming, Katie.
Hi, thanks for having us.
Appreciate you showing up.
Yeah.
We all love the barbecue. Our viewers love the barbecue. And some of the questions we get, you know, if we're using charcoal, do we still add wood? What kind of wood? Do I use chunks? So why don't we start with different types of wood? You've got a bunch here, and
Yeah,
walk us
for
through the
sure.
process.
So the fun thing about barbecuing is there's all sorts of mix and matches that you can do and all sorts of different combinations. So our wood is really unique because it all comes from our own property
Right over in
in
Shedden.
Shedden,
Perfect.
which is super local and close to London. So our wood is about 15% moisture, which is really ideal for that good smoke.
What kind of wood do we generally want to use on our barbecue?
So we have apple, hickory, oak, sugar maple are definitely popular. And then we have some lilac or buckthorn that are native but not well used, but also interesting to use. So
Okay.
yeah.
And these are going to impart different flavors. So if I used hickory versus applewood, if I use applewood, am I getting the flavor of apple or?
Yeah, you're getting some more sweet undertones. It's not going to literally taste like an apple, but it's definitely going to be sweeter. That's a really popular one for kind of all the meats and whatnot. If you're choosing something that is like a poultry, then you want to take something that's not as strong. So like an apple and not like a hickory or oak wouldn't be ideal, but
I noticed you brought lots of different types of wood. You got more like, you know, actual logs. Is somebody actually going to smoke with something this size?
for sure. So these would be for like an offset. So you would get, this would be for like heat and flavor.
And then from there we get into what I would just call chunks.
Yeah, so our chunks are kind of this size here, and they'd go into the green egg or even a barbecue or any type of charcoal smoker. And then the chips would be for more if you wanted a really hot, smoky, quick, say sausage or hamburger. That's not going to be like an all-day type of smoke. So that's why these two, a lot of people buy both of the options depending on what they're smoking. If I'm doing a quick hamburger, I'm going to go with one of these, just because it's really smoky, really fast, which is nice. So you don't have to wait a long time for that smoke.
The actual, more like a dust. And so where would I use this?
It's for special smokers that this would definitely be too big for. It doesn't quite fit in there, so they have another option.
And I'm going to get kind of a more instant smoke,
Yeah.
lots of smoke
Yeah.
up front, a little less smoke up front, and it just sort of follows along the
Yeah,
process.
exactly.
And what I didn't realize was all the different ways that I can actually pick up the wood and use for different cooks. So that's fantastic. Thanks very much for coming down and sharing your knowledge on wood and how to use it and how to make our barbecuing even better.